think this is too loud on YouTube. Let's see. Is it going to storm Virginia? Looks like it might. At least Eastern Virginia. The European has trended west with the GFS, with our southern snowstorm. Man, real opportunity here for a nor'easter as well this weekend. Look at this. So your GFS keeps us farther to the west. Our Euro keeps us farther to the east. The Euro is still giving us a shot for snow down here in the south, including into Charlotte. Not a ton, but a little. But this is a shift west that we just saw on the Euro. Because if we go back to the 12Z here, look at that. Barely anything. Barely anything showing up here on the 12Z. Let's take that. Let's move it back to 18Z. Boom. Look at all that snow along the coast. That would ride up the coast as well. Here's the 12Z of the Euro. Here's the 18Z. Our system's starting to trend west. Oh my gosh. If at the 00Z tonight, this trends even farther west. Holy smokes. This could be a nor'easter. We'll see. It's for this upcoming weekend. The GFS likes a nor'easter. This wouldn't be a major nor'easter, but you've got a deepening low running up the coast, pulling moisture off the Gulf. Getting down to 987, 988 millibar low. We'd want this a little bit more tilted. But, you know, on the GFS, this puts good snow on the ground from almost northern Florida all the way up to Boston, including the big cities, Baltimore, D.C., New York City, Philly, you know, Charlotte, all these big cities, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Salisbury. So very interesting here. Now, I want to see, is the European AI out yet? Have we seen a shift on the European AI? Yeah, this shifted west on the European AI, I think. Let's take a look. 18Z, 12Z. Okay, not a major shift. The European AI is seeing a little bit more of a tilt. Take a look at the graph cast here. Whoa. Stevie, I appreciate that. NTX, Jasmine, what's going on? B, what's going on? Yeah, this is exciting. I mean, this is exactly the time frame we talked about, right? Our first opportunity was going to be the 14th or through the 16th. Remember, we talked about that. And, you know, we do have this cold air running up the coast. We do have moisture off the coast, but this one ran offshore. The next opportunity was always going to be right behind it, right here. And we've been talking about, I think I brought this up 7 to 10 days ago. There's always going to be another opportunity as we got towards January 17th and 18th. And here we go, confirming. That's why we never look at precipitation this far out, but we do look at patterns. Yo, ride him, cowboy. Thanks for the cowboy hat. But yeah, there it is. There it is on the GFS snowstorm. Obviously staying a little dry out west. We'll see what happens here. I do think we're going to get some sort of snowstorm through the plains and then up through the Midwest here. Models can't completely agree on the time frame of this, what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the European. Let's go back to the 12Z Euro. You can see what the Euro wants to do here. Same type of thing. Some sort of storm through the plains up to the upper Midwest. So, and you can see the Euro out here trying to give us another nor'easter style system. But anyways, the 18Z has began to agree with the GFS. Like I just said, this is probably the biggest story right now. The second half. By the way, I'm gonna get to answering all your guys' questions. Hey, for anyone watching on YouTube, let me know if the music's too loud because I was just checking and I'm like, I feel like the music is so loud on YouTube, but you can barely hear it on TikTok. How's the volume on YouTube? I can adjust it. Brandon, what's going on? Music is good, perfect. Connor didn't make it snow on my birthday. I know, I messed up. I messed up. I'm sorry. Is Columbus, Ohio going to see any good snow or whatsoever? I thought we were going to get a dusting at least. Seems like there's no snow for us. Well, Columbus, Ohio is actually ahead of schedule for snow this year. So you guys have had a good year so far snow-wise as compared to your average. Arsh, holy crap with the Galaxy. Arsh, thank you. Here, let me know if this is still good. I'm going to turn up a little more. Arsh, holy crap. What is going on? I appreciate that. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio is actually still running above average on snow. So don't think that you haven't gotten good snow this year. You actually have more snow than you should have already had this time of the year. And Stevie, oh my gosh, you guys are being way too generous to me right now. But I'm glad to be back. You guys are awesome. I seriously really, really appreciate. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. Seriously. Let's see. Let's see. Just going through some comments here, and then I'm going to answer your guys' questions. But yeah, there's going to be some more opportunities. You can see Clipper through Ohio here, maybe another Clipper through Ohio here in the short term. We can take a look at the GFS because the GFS is going to show us a little bit farther out on the 18Z. Here we go on the 18Z. Lots of little Clippers through the Midwest here. You know, these are all opportunities for Columbus. Even here, I mean, plenty of opportunities for Columbus. Let's take a look at the live radar. We do have nice little low pressure system. I talked about this in my video yesterday and today as well. Moving down to the southeast, bringing some snow right now into Ohio. You could get a little again, Clipper snow into Columbus. With this, obviously more rain as we get out towards the coast. But the big story is all the cold air moving in behind this. We need to talk about this, and I'm going to get to all your questions, but we need to talk about this real quickly before I get to your questions. Holy smokes. Let's just take a look at the European ensemble temperature, surface temperature. Let's go into our 10-day anomalies. This is what the Euro thinks our temperatures over the next 10 days are going to look like. I think if we go out even towards, let's push out towards the end of January. Look at this. I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to be warm out west. Remember when I said I was struggling with our outlook? I felt confident in December. I was struggling with our outlook in the beginning of January. I was telling you the truth. And I think about last week before I left for a little vacay with the family, I told you guys I had a hella confidence in my outlook for the second half of January. Cold. Snow chances increase for the south and east. And why? Well, I don't care about control models agreeing. I care about ensembles agreeing. I care about teleconnections agreeing. I care about very nice oscillation patterns. And finally, consensus across models started to show a major Alaskan ridge, which is already happening. They're now showing a very, very sharp European ridge pushing into the Arctic at the same time. What's the word I'm looking for? A tropospheric polar vortex breakdown is just, it's going to happen. It's showing on everything. It's showing the ensembles. It's showing in the different members. The high consensus, if I don't care about one run of one model, I don't care about one model over another model. I want to see models singing the same tune, or at least somewhat of the same tune around the same time frame. And they all are seeing specifically the two main things are just tropospheric polar vortex disruption, major EPO ridging. That's enough for me to say cold air into the states and especially into the east. This is looking like we could have a very, very cold second half of January here, which we're gonna, and record-breaking temperatures, because if you get the coldest air of the year or the coldest anomalies of the year in the third and fourth week of January, that's when you don't just break daily records, but you can break historic records, 100-year records held for the lowest temperatures. This looks cold. How long does this last into February? I don't know. I don't think the West is going to continue to get screwed. The West got a little bit of snow at least in between your ridges, but obviously not the best right now. Anyways, that's a big story. Really quickly, last thing before I get to your questions, just absolute wildness. Take a look at the graph cast, and I don't even care about the control, although the control and the mean are seeing each other. If you guys don't know what these teleconnections are, what we're looking at right now is the Arctic oscillation. When the Arctic oscillation is this, I really like looking at this green line, right? These are ensembles. If this is below -2 or above 2, this is when it gets significant. Below right here, this line, that means our tropospheric polar vortex is really disturbed. That cold air is breaking out of the Arctic and heading down to the mid-latitudes. And this is our ensemble, not even our control. It's crazy to see an ensemble diving this far to the south. And this is our graph cast. It's supposed to be our best new model. So, hey, I don't even know. I don't even know what we could see here. Again, maybe historic record temperatures, not just daily record temperatures. Or, right through this time frame here, the 20th all the way through the end of January. European ensemble sees the exact same thing. I mean, European AI sees the exact same thing. Very cold mean. You got a negative NAO2, which suggests that this cold air is going to favor the east over the west, unfortunately. Look at our graph cast. Look at our NAO on the graph cast. Holy crap. You want continued nor'easter chances out along the coast. I know we haven't seen our first one this year. We have an opportunity this weekend to see a nor'easter. The GFS likes it. The Euro doesn't. I think our 00Zs are going to come together tonight, and they're going to agree on if we're going to see it or not. But I think southern snow is inevitable this weekend. In the southeast for portions of Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, maybe we'll see. But this is fantastic. Negative NAO. Let's take a look at our European weeklies. Our European weeklies likes a negative NAO mean, a pretty significant negative NAO mean all the way until February 1st. Really, really nice for the east if you want snow. Look at this Arctic oscillation. Doesn't even want to mess with going positive until halfway through February. Cold air. Wow. Look at the agreement across the models. Arctic oscillation. Look at that negative mean. Oh my gosh. Look at that negative NAO. I mean, this pattern is astonishing. I told everyone was freaking out in the beginning of January. Like, oh my gosh, we had a good December, but here we go. The rest of the winter's over. I think out east, you're going to end up, everyone, I'd say from really Minnesota south to Louisiana and east, maybe even eastern portions of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. I think a lot of us are going to end up seeing a below average January, even though we've had such a warm start to January. I think so. And I'll take questions now, but just to show you the temperature. Here's 6 to 10 days. Here's 6 to 10 days. All right. Temperature outlook. Here's 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Here's our 3 to 4 week temperature outlook. Here's our monthly temperature outlook. Unfortunate for the West, but if you're a winter lover, I mean, just really good news for a lot of us out east. Again, possible that we do get a little bit of a southeastern ridge holding down here, and this warmth, this cold air doesn't really dive in there, but pretty good out here. Okay. Anyways, fun pattern to talk about, to cover here. That's not what I'm trying to do. Okay. Let's get this out of here. All right. Anyways, winter storm warnings. Western upstate New York. You can see just the northwest of Utica as well. Buffalo's in there, just outside of Rochester. Southwestern Michigan, north central Indiana. All right. What's going on, chat? What is going on? What's my personal take about this nor'easter? Well, I think the models, it's not like they're disagreeing a lot, but this is, so I'm taking questions now. So this is the first question I'm taking. The models aren't disagreeing a lot, but the minor disagreement, remember, and I always talk about this, if our storm track is here, no one gets snow. If our storm track is here, big nor'easter. If our storm track is here, good snow for inner New England, the Appalachian Mountain Range, but all rain for the I-95 corridor up and down the coast here. So the models actually don't disagree that much. I mean, take a look at this. This is the GFS, and we're at about 90 hours. So this would be considered forecasting range, the far end of forecasting range, but this isn't an outlook. See, you could see the models both see our 540 line diving down here, rain off the coast, some snow inland. We might have a little bit of issues with temperatures here, but you see they're not that far off. This is 90 hours out. 100. This is at 100 hours out, and look, they're singing the same tune here. Euro keeps it farther east. GFS keeps it farther west. You guys want the GFS to win here. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think the GFS has been performing better than it has in a decade this year. I'd say the Euro has been correct 60% of the time to the GFS 40, and I'm just taking a guess there. But just from every time I forecast, I've found myself multiple times being like, oh, the GFS ended up being correct on this storm, not the Euro. And I feel like I used to only say that once or twice a winter. They have... the American model, the GFS has upgraded their algorithm a few times recently. And maybe they should slow down and just keep this, whatever this algorithm is in right now, because it's doing better this winter. So anyways, yep, I'll keep answering questions. Marissa Chacky, I don't know how to say it, 92, KJ, Nay, and Ratuka, I appreciate you guys. How many inches do you think Eastern Tennessee will get? Not the mountains, maybe mainly the Tri-Cities. You see a little... yeah, I mean, this could end up going further west and putting some snow into Eastern Tennessee, not in the mountains, but not really seeing that too much. There's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here. There's multiple opportunities, but none of them are really, really high confidence. What's in your mouth? Come here. Give me that. Take that out of your mouth. He's eating this. Hi, do you want to say hi to stream real quick? Say hi, stream.
Say hi, Green.
Okay. Be out in a little bit.
Come on, mommy's home. She just got home.
Go. Be out in a little bit.
Oh.
No, don't, no. Put that down. Jeez. 3 years old, he's still eating paper. Oh, gosh. Katie, what's going on? Hi, Connor. Why do you think... Oh, man, someone... Yeah, I mean, there's multiple opportunities for snow across the state of Tennessee here, especially just because of all the cold air we have moving in for the second half of January. I don't see a great storm track for Tennessee right now, but again, we don't really care about what the storm track is outside of 100 to 120 hours out because that can change. So, listen, I don't see a large ridge with a bunch of heat sitting over Tennessee the second half of January. So I'd say your chances aren't too bad of seeing some good snow, really from across the state of Tennessee in the second half of January. Hannah, Cole P, I appreciate you. Too cute. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Connor, why do you think the GFS is showing such a different forecast? It's really not that different. The GFS just has it tilting slightly earlier, and that makes a huge difference in the storm track because if we get into our neutral tilt right here, suddenly look at our jet stream. The jet stream flow is right here, southwesterly. And as soon as our jet stream tilts like this, where's all this moisture going to follow? It's going to follow this baroclinic line right here, right? These baroclinic lines. Now on the Euro, notice that tilt comes a little bit later. Look at the direction of our baroclinic lines. On the GFS, they're kind of like this. On the Euro, they're kind of like this. So they're actually very, very close. Just any little wiggle west and east makes a huge difference when you're trying to get a southern snow nor'easter style system that gives a lot of people snow from the southeast up the coast. But they're actually, especially at 100 hours out, this isn't too big of a difference right here. Little shifts in the snow, right? But they still see the same thing. They still see the same trough and snow system trying to go up the coast. The GFS has been competing with the Euro pretty good this year. Will February have very frigid cold outbreaks as well? February still looks, if you were to take all of these teleconnections at their word, February still looks freezing for the East, at least in the first half of it. But as we know, that outside of 2 weeks, our teleconnection, the oscillation forecasts and outlooks aren't... My neck hurts, one second. Aren't that great. I've been working... I was working from home all day and then got on to do this. So I've just been sitting in a chair since like 7 in the morning. I'm going on 11 hours. I need a stretch after this. Chances for 5+ inches in Bucks County. If the GFS occurs, not pretty good. I mean, if you were to see this westerly track, I think 5+ inches is definitely possible in Bucks County, at least central to southern, maybe even northern. Snow for Minneapolis tomorrow. Yeah, let's take a look at what the National Weather Service is telling us. Here, we'll do this. We'll just go straight into okay, so Minneapolis, and I haven't actually done this with you guys. We can do even more on the probabilistic precipitation portal. I can just go right in here and type in Minneapolis. Oh, don't tell me it's not going to give me Minneapolis. Why is my son screaming? Oh, they don't have Minneapolis in here? No, there's no way they don't have Minneapolis. Oh, it's probably going to be under... Oh, it's under the airports. What the heck? Why can't I remember our airport name? I literally just flew into it yesterday. I feel like an idiot. Oh, it's MSP, duh. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Let me try this out with you guys really quickly. Interesting. Twin Cities. That's what they have it under. So Twin Cities, take a look here. We can zoom in. This is the expected snowfall for the Twin Cities over the next 72 hours. Just about over the next 72 hours. See, this is through January 17th. Then I can just click here real quick and let's go. What's the high-end snowfall? Here you go. High-end snowfall for the Twin Cities over the next 72 hours. 3 inches. Faribault, 4 inches. Rochester, 3 inches. This is a much easier way to look at this type of stuff. MSP, yeah, Marissa. I don't know why I forgot. I've flown in and out of the airport so much. It's because I always want to say, like, I'm always like, what does MSP stand for? That's not Minneapolis, but it's Minneapolis, St. Paul. Mandy, I appreciate you. But yeah, if you want to take a look here, high-end totals. Here's our high-end totals. Here's the high-end possibilities for snowfall over the next 72 hours. Not bad snow into central to northern Minnesota, eastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, not too bad. Michigan, Indiana, look at this. High-end Indianapolis could end up with 4 inches. Pittsburgh could end up with big snow on the high end, 6 to 8 inches. Expected, obviously this comes down a little bit. Here's your expected totals. Light blues, 1 to 3 inches. Dark blues, 4 to 5 inches. And then you get into the yellows and up at 6 inches to a foot. Could you get snow in Birmingham? It's definitely possible. I mean, we've been talking about this. Oh, look at this. Why is this showing counties here? There we go. Yeah, let's move back here. I mean, look at the snow that the GFS puts in Alabama. Again, I don't know if I fully believe this here yet. Our temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 30s here. So what I think the American model is seeing here is snow falling in the upper and mid layers of the atmosphere, but I don't know if this snow would have reached the ground or just evaporate or obviously melt into rain. But this could end up being a sleet mix here. Hey, maybe even freezing rain, but we'll see. The Euro actually, I think the Euro actually makes it even colder down there, but starts producing that snow a little bit later. But you can see the opportunities down here. Yeah, Charlotte, the GFS puts almost 5 inches of snow into Saturday and Sunday. I have family and friends in Charlotte. I lived there for a while, 3 to 4 years. I hope it happens.
12 GFS is rigged?
Kyle with the $2 super chat on YouTube. I appreciate you, Kyle, as always. What do you think about the chances that the I would say, just like I said earlier, I'd give it a 40. The way the models have been performing this year is not normal. I'd say a normal year, the Euro's right 80% of the time and the GFS is right 20% of the time. They're close to 50-50 right now. So I'd still give the edge to the Euro, but I'd say maybe 40% chance of GFS is right. It's almost a coin flip with the way that these models have been performing. A lot of times, and I say this, and I know it just seems like the simple solution, a lot of times one of these models isn't aggressive enough, and a lot of these times one of these models is too aggressive. So if you want to land on the most likely outcome outside of our short range models, take a look at our globals, just combine the GFS and Euro. So, maybe we get more snow than the Euro sees, but a little less snow than the GFS sees. So take down the, maybe push this just slightly out to the east. Again, though, in the next 48 hours, we'll get our short range models. The National Weather Service, Friday, we'll see what the National Weather Service is predicting for this storm as well. The snow totally dodged Virginia. We're going to get no snow tomorrow, but chances are high on Sunday. I wouldn't say chances are high on Sunday yet, because if we do land with the Euro, it's not going to be as good for Virginia. Let's take a look at our ensembles, because I want to give you an actual percentage here. Let's take a look at our ensembles. Let's take a look at our surface, winter. Okay. Here is the European ensemble. You can see a lot of members. This is actually not too bad of confidence. Oops. Right here. Not too bad of confidence. Our GFS is going to put a little bit more snow down here on the ensemble. Look at the GFS almost getting those blues down into Charlotte through North Carolina and up the coast. The GFS is getting really confident out here. I was taking a look at the panels as well. And then you take a look at the Canadian. And the Canadian just isn't quite there. The Canadian's not sold. Let's take a look at the European AI. Thanks, Hamilton. Thanks for the air dancer. Name Andy. I appreciate you guys. European AI sees the opportunity, not extremely confident in it. Let's take a look at our GraphCast ensemble. This isn't going to be great for us here. All right. I really want to try to give you. Okay, let's do it how I like to do it here. Heights, velocity. Here's our system getting into right here. Friday, Saturday. Okay. Now right here, we have a negatively tilted system. This is not going to do anything for us. If this approaches the southeastern coast negatively tilted, the storm system runs off the coast. It doesn't amplify or doesn't, get energized or anything like that and get any of that precipitation forming early enough. Here's the latest GFS. Where does the positive tilt come? Right here, which is perfect. Positively tilted. We're still kind of west of Tallahassee here, west of Columbus. Now this has time to complete that negative tilt and ride right up the coast. I like how the GFS plays this out. going into the European, how do we approach here? Here we go. Our second system's diving down. Now, funny enough, this system right here, tomorrow and Friday, probably could have been a nor'easter. You know why it's not? This piece of energy back here is shoving it off the coast before it has time to tilt. It's putting pressure on the back end here, and it's shoving it off the coast before it has time to tilt. So this back end system is what's ruining our nor'easter chance for tomorrow and Friday. So it owes us a nor'easter, right? That's what I'm thinking. Now, there's nothing behind this system here. Notice. This isn't, we don't have a major storm system up here. A little bit of a low pressure clipper system here. There's nothing pushing this storm system off the coast, right? There's nothing pushing this storm system, this piece of energy off the coast. Here's your neutral tilt, a little bit too far out to the east, which is why you don't get as much snow in the European. But there's nothing, I don't think this is shoving the system off the coast. You can see what's happening in the GFS. I just want to show you guys and give you my opinion. This is a serious storm system right behind here, right? Digging into the States, pushing this one off the coast. Look at the European here. Look at the European. Okay. As we get into here, that's not a big storm system behind. I don't think this system shoved off the coast, which almost makes me want to lean more towards the GFS here, because I do think this does have an opportunity to neutrally and negatively tilt earlier than the European sees. I think the GFS may end up being correct in this situation, only because we don't have the scenario we have tomorrow and Friday where another storm system is shoving our nor'easter potential off the coast. This system is all by itself. It's all by itself. We see the tilt. We see the southwesterly flow of our jet stream. So maybe I'm leaning slightly towards the GFS and with this one, again, because we don't have a storm system pushing it off the coast from behind. How's Charlotte looking this weekend? I'd be shocked if Charlotte didn't get at least flurries or dusting, but I do think you could seriously get 2 to 4 inches through Charlotte, maybe even more, again, if we lean the GFS. Any big snow for East Tennessee? For the mountains, yes. Again, there's probably 3 or 4 opportunities for snow across Tennessee over the next 10 to 14 days. Plenty of cold air. Plenty of below freezing air for Tennessee. The question is the moisture there? And that's hard to tell right now if we have the storm track. Elizabeth, I appreciate you. Big Bird. Sprinkler guy. S9. Of course, what happened in the weekend? Well, listen, if this were to happen, right, if say the GFS were to play out, this would be a lot of snow that would fall Sunday afternoon to Sunday night for Charlotte and for this region. So kids would probably have off of school at least Monday, if not Tuesday as well, because there's plenty of cold air to keep that snow on the ground. And Charlotte, everything shuts down if you get an inch of snow, let alone if you end up pushing 4 inches plus. Do you think blizzard for the 24th to 26th is still possible, like the GFS said? I mean, this is why you don't trust models out plus 200 hours. You see, I mean, we still see GFS out here. This would potentially be blizzard-like conditions through portions of Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit. I guess you could say this is possible. Do we have any sort of model consensus with the European? Let's go to the 12Z. The European sees this a little bit farther to the north, so they both see it in a different position. The Canadian probably actually sees it as well. There's the Canadian, sees it up towards the northeast, so they all see the possibility. So yeah, I guess there's some sort of consensus along that time frame. Mesomet, what is cracking? Pretty interesting, huh, Matt? I was saying the only reason I might lean towards the GFS in this scenario, Matt, is this right here, which was our first nor'easter possibility tomorrow and Friday, is getting shoved off. This piece of energy behind it is shoving this off the coast and not allowing it to tilt. This system right here, we've got no big storm system behind it. So it has the eastern U.S. to itself. We don't have another low behind here trying to push this thing offshore. So I do think the neutral negative tilt a little bit earlier on is possible. I wouldn't be surprised if the GFS was correct here and the Euro was incorrect. It did good 7 days out last year with the Southeast event. The GFS, And this is what I'm talking about. The GFS, The GFS also tends to do better when you get towards the subtropical region. It just handles this region better, but the GFS saw that big southern snowstorm that put snow along, almost a foot of snow along the Gulf Coast and up the shore here. It saw that about, 6 to 8 days out pretty well, and the European didn't even catch on to it till 3 to 4 days out. So that was an example where the GFS outperformed the Euro. And again, why is this first system tomorrow and Friday not a nor'easter? This big piece of energy right here behind it is pushing this off the coast. It's not giving it time to tilt. Look at our next system. We have nothing behind it. Nothing. No trough. There's no troughing back here. We just have a northwesterly flow. Okay, so there's nothing pushing this off the coast, keeping it from tilting up and going up the east coast. Doesn't mean it's going to do this, but it's not getting shoved off the coast like the system before it that's occurring really right now into tomorrow and Friday. So will the GFS win here? It just might. We'll see. Next 48 hours, we'll have a pretty good answer. Can Long Island see snow for the weekend? It could. It could. Yeah, Baltimore's a toss-up. GFS likes snow into Baltimore, though. GFS is a hurricane model before anything else. $5 super chat from Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I love you. You're awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, the GFS is... Okay, so here's the thing with the GFS. It either sees something like 10 days out and it's like super good, like, and then 10 days later that exact thing happens, or it sees something 10 days out and nothing like what it sees occurs. It's just not consistently... There are times where the GFS is like amazes everyone and it's like, oh my gosh, the GFS saw this 14 days out. And then there are times where like you're like the GFS was like completely off, like 5 days out, 4 days out. It's such a hit or miss with the GFS. Like I said, though, it's been performing this winter better than it has in years. They've adjusted the algorithm, they said, and it's been doing better this year. So, but I will tell you, the GFS, if one model is going to catch a real possibility out 10 to 14 days, it's going to be the GFS, not the Euro. It's like the GFS starts doing better after 10 days. I don't know. What setup do we need for Northwest Arkansas snow? Well, after all this cold air continues to barrage the east, you get a little bit of a ridge, maybe, right in here around the 25th, pushing out east, and then this would allow that Bear Clinic boundary to push through Arkansas, and you can see the snow there. You need a little bit of a pattern flip, a little bit of warm air returning to the east, allowing that cold air to move back through the plains, and hey, maybe around the 24th, 25th, that happens for you guys. Again, though, holy smokes. Holy smokes. Look at these temperatures. Matt. Oh, actually, Matt, I want to give you a call here in a second. Look at these 10-day temperature anomalies on the Euro. All the way through the end of January and into February. Look at this. Look at that. Nancy Hamilton, I appreciate you guys. People want panels. We could show the panels in a second. Yeah, I'll show the panels in a second. Middle Tennessee is in a snow dome, I swear. Yeah, you guys are going to get plenty of cold air here, but you see how you don't see much snowfall through Middle Tennessee? Don't worry. You can't believe all the precipitation. The future reflectivity forecasts, past, like I said, 100 to 120 hours. Watch the pattern. The pattern is going to promote multiple opportunities for snow into Tennessee. If we can get a good storm track, you'll see it. We'll get into the panels in just a second, guys. I love a blizzard here in Philly this winter. Just imagine hearing blizzard of 26. Yeah. Hey, when was the last? What was the last one called? Storm of the century. 96. Blizzard of 96. 20 years later. 30 years later. The blizzard of 26. It's the 30-year. The 30-year anniversary would be in March of the storm of the century, which was a major nor'easter. Put tons of snow in the south and up the coast. But this is the 30-year anniversary of that this year. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's destiny. 30 years later, another one. You guys average one storm of the century every 30 years, which wouldn't make sense. But yeah, Matt, I got to give you a call later. I want to talk to you about school. Hear how it's going. Could this nor'easter turn into a blizzard for New Jersey? Of course. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't think you want a blizzard. We had a blizzard. When was it? Right before the 4th of July here in Minneapolis. And what could have been 14 inches of snow turned into 7 inches of snow because it was so windy. Because we sat there with 30, 40 mile per hour sustained winds for 12 hours straight, 18 hours straight. So much of the snow just kept blowing off the surface. And you get these big mountains of snow, these drifts of snow that are like 3 feet high. And then you get like, you know, you get a lot less snow if it's too blizzardy. You want some winds, you want some heavy snow, but what you really want is the storm just far enough off coast so where you don't get all those snow drifts, but you get that really, really nice, thick, cold snow. I know blizzards are fun for people who can't be in them a lot. There was a big storm in 2016, wasn't there? I almost feel like there was one in 2006 as well. I think the 6s have been good for snow. Well, wait, let me ask ChatGPT this real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. Why is 2006 major snowstorm? I think there was one in 2006 as well. Like a big nor'easter. Wait, I got to look this up real quick. Have there been big nor'easters on all the 6s? February 12th to 14th, 2006. North American blizzard. One of the most significant winter storms in U.S. history. Hold up. Hold up. One of the most significant blizzards in U.S. history. Mid-Atlantic, New England, especially New York City, Long Island, and areas of the South in 2006. The same thing happened in 1996. I'm pretty sure 2016 major snowstorm. I'm pretty sure 2016 had a major snowstorm for the South, a major nor'easter style event as well. January 22nd to the 24th, 2016 blizzard, commonly known as Winter Storm Jonas. DC 22 inches, Baltimore 30 inches, New York City 30 inches. All of these storms, the 96 blizzard, the 2006, what do they call it? Storm of the whatever. The 2016 winter storm that put down 30 inches up and down the East Coast. These are all 1996, 2006, 2016. Wait. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything. I don't really. Wait, I might have to make a short on this. I'm not kidding. And these weren't just little snowstorms. 96 is called a storm of the century. The 2006 snowstorm shut down the entire East Coast. Another, what some would call storm of the century. 2016, 30 inches up and down the coast. We're talking 2 to 3 feet of snow. These are storms that happen once a decade. Once every 20 years. Wow. All right, guys. Well, look, even if it's not this one, remember, the storm of the century happened in March 14th, middle of March. We had a major southern snowstorm in nor'easter, so you guys have plenty of time left. Imagine if we have another storm of the century, storm of the decade, landing on a 6. That is hilarious. Okay. Am I staying live for the 00Z? Maybe. I might do what I did. I actually made my video last night, and I thought I had it auto-posting at 6 or 6:30, and it didn't auto-post, so I woke up late, and then I realized I had to post it. My video wasn't posted till 10 a.m. this morning. I'm not going to be on from now until the 00Z comes out, but I might get back on later. Could the nor'easter turn into a blizzard for New Jersey, the one on Sunday? It could. Yeah, that's still a possibility. Yeah, guys. Okay, let me do this real quick. Have there been big snowstorms in each year ending with 6? 996, 2006, 2016. I'll just have there. Ignore how I'm typing this in. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, look at this, guys. Okay, short answer, yes. Each of those years, 1996, 2000, 2006, 2016 had at least one major snowstorm. And when we say major, we're not talking about a foot of snow. We're talking about 2 to 3 feet of snow. And all three featured major nor'easters. Not all three featured nor'easters, major nor'easters. 1996, 2006, 2016. 1996, major nor'easter. They called it the blizzard of the century or the storm of the century. January 6th to January 8th, one of the most historic. Oh, this one was, okay, so this one was a little bit different. One of the most, I actually thought this one was in March. One of the most historic U.S. snowstorms ever. 2 to 4 feet of snow from D.C. to New York City to New England. Snow did fall in the south as well. Followed by flooding from rapid snowmelt and rain. Classic textbook powerful nor'easter. Often ranked top 5 of all time. 2006, major nor'easter. Still historic. February 12th to February 14th, Valentine's Day blizzard. Slow-moving nor'easter, 27 inches into New York City. Long Island and southern New England, 30 to 40 inches. Holy crap. One of New York City's largest single snowfalls. Okay. 2016, Winter Storm Jonas. Huge mid-Atlantic focus. DC, 22 inches. Record. Baltimore, 29 inches. Parts of the Appalachian Mountain Range, 40 inches. Blizzard conditions, coastal flooding, extreme impacts occurred during a strong El Nino. Interesting. Okay, big picture. 96, classic all-time great nor'easter. 2006, major nor'easter, more localized but still historic. 2016, modern blockbuster nor'easter. Now they call this modern, oh no, not moderate. Okay, modern blockbuster nor'easter. There's no scientific cycle that guarantees big snowstorms every 6 year, but it does make for a striking pattern. Yeah, you're telling me. Especially since 96 and 2016 are two of the most famous blizzards ever. So they're saying the 2006 blizzard isn't super famous. Yeah, it just dropped 27 inches of snow into New York City, 40 inches into New England, and is one of New York City's largest ever snowfalls. These are all historic blizzards. 96, 2016, 96, 2006, 2016. Crazy. Wait. Was there something in 86 and 76? What is this telling me? Okay, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. Let's just leave it at that. You guys can check that. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, should I check? Okay, someone said go check. Okay, we'll check real quick. I know, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure there was a big one in 86. The 80s were just snowy and cold for the East in general. Check 76 and 86. Hi. I'm working on streaming.
Yeah.
Say hi, stream.
Say hi, Trey.
Okay, I'll be on in a little bit, okay? I love you.
Sorry about that. He sneaks and then he...
Okay, see? So it stops there. That's okay. Yep, so it's really been since 96, 2006, 2016. Now, there was a nor'easter in 86. Not in 76. So you could say this has been going on since 86. So 6 to 12 inches locally or higher. So a foot or higher through portions of the Mid-Atlantic and New England. This was a nor'easter in 86. So you could say 86, 96, 2006, 2016. Wild. All right, I'm going to get back to what we're... Back to scheduled programming, guys. Someone said there was one in 79 as well. Yeah, but we're following the 6 trend. It's been 3 years, 3 6s. Oh. Interesting. All right. 2026, it's our time to shine. Here we go. That would be crazy. Because, again, all 3 of those were historic. We're not just talking about random snowstorms. Winter storm potential for the weekend in Wisconsin. We get a lot of clipper action. Clipper after clipper after clipper. None of these are winter storms in Wisconsin, but you could have like 4 different days of snow showers in Wisconsin over the next 5 days. Really over the next 7 days. Where is the low pressure set up? Depends what you look at. Deepening low, running up the coast here. Boop, there they are. It's not showing the initial one, but they're kind of set up like this. You get this in the tilt here. This is, this Bear Clinic boundary snow is what's really setting up our snowstorm. What would mid-Georgia snow percentage be for Sunday? Oh, and we got to show the panels. That's right. We can look at snow percentage too. All right, let's look at the GFS ensemble. Let's go to snow panels. We can look at our percentages. Percentile. Let's do this. Let's do this. Surface winter. No, how do I want to do this? No, probabilities. Winter. Okay. Here's the GFS probability of seeing an inch or more of snow this weekend or over the next 4 to 5 days. Notice this shading in here. This is all about a 40 to 50% chance, really going up to 40 to 70% chance through this region, at least from our GFS ensemble of seeing over an inch of snow. Does it give you the opportunity to see more than 3 inches of snow? It does right now in the GFS ensemble. It gives the opportunity to even see more than 3 inches of snow out here. Not a very great chance, but the closer we get, the higher these percentage chances will go up. Let's take a look at our panels here. Winter panels, all members. All right, time to dive into the craziness. You guys asked for it. Let's zoom in a little bit here. All right, southern snow, first member. Good southern snow. Really a nor'easter style system. We're gonna check the ones that give southern snow and a chance for a nor'easter. Check. Nice snow into Tennessee and the Appalachian Mountain Range here. Snow out towards the coast. I wouldn't call this a major nor'easter though. Check. Nor'easter, not southern snow. Southern snow, nor'easter possibilities. Actually, we don't want to go this far out because we want to look through the first snowstorm. So let's just go out to here. Okay. Check. Not too bad with southern snow and snow up in the northeast. Nice southern snow here as well. Not bad. Ooh, this is a really close call. Good snow for North Carolina, though. More southern snow. Not bad here. It's kind of a mini nor'easter style here. Nice southern snow. Chance for a nor'easter there. Southern snow up the coast. There's a lot of possibilities here. Here, we have 30 members. Let's see how many of these 30 members see the chance for southern snow. 1, 2, and when I say southern snow, I'm saying a little bit of snow, maybe even into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, maybe Tennessee. I'll keep Tennessee out because we want this to be a real southern snow opportunity. 1, 2, a little bit here. I won't count it. 3, 4, 5. Snow up the coast here. South Carolina, North Carolina. 6, 7, 8. Look at that. 9, 10, 11, 12. The GFS is being so aggressive. Oh my gosh. This member of the GFS wants to put a foot of snow down into southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama, and maybe into Atlanta. Don't think that's going to happen, but there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. And another one. And another one. DJ Khaled. Okay. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 out of the 30 members. Over 50% of the members see southern snow and a chance for snow up the coast. And I appreciate that subscription. I appreciate it. Now, let's take a look at the Euro. So obviously the GFS likes it. The Euro isn't going to be as kind, but we'll take a look at the Euro. Or the Euro's not going to be as kind, but we'll take a look at it. Euro, snow up the coast. Let's see here. See the Euro, we're not seeing the consistency. A little bit down in southern Georgia. I'll give it to you there. That's only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not counting if I see a dusting. Don't say the meme. I'm not counting a dusting. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about 13 out of the 50 show true southern snow on the Euro. And then you got about more than half of the GFS. So this is a real opportunity. One of these runs is going to win on the GFS or Euro. The good news is we know the opportunity's there. It's all going to come down to, does this storm run off the coast? I explained why I think the GFS could be right on this one, and we could end up seeing a bigger southern snow and maybe more snow up and down the coast here because we don't have a second storm system behind it to shove it off the coast. I already went through that. I explained it. So maybe leaning in a little bit towards the GFS here. But we're going to get into our short ranges here, and it's going to be really useful. The GFS also is what saw the major snowstorm that happened in the south last year and along the coast. The GFS was correct 7 days out last year. The Euro didn't even see it. Hamilton, I appreciate you. Grayson, I appreciate you. Let me get back to answering some speed round of questions. Chantel, what do you put the odds for snow at for central to western North Carolina? I think you're right around a 30 to 40. Well, I think you're a 50-50 chance for snow to be flying, flakes to be flying and dusting this weekend. For actual true accumulation, 30 to 40% chance I'd give you guys, which is pretty high. How does Iowa look for snow in the next 2 weeks? Tons of clipper systems running through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe big blizzard there, 6. You can see that there's plenty of opportunities, maybe another one behind here. Not a fantastic strong storm track through Iowa, except for, and we spoke about this earlier, all these models do see Canadian GFS, Euro, our main globals, Icon do see something happening around the 24th through the Central Plains and portions of the upper Midwest. So I'd watch that time frame for Iowa if you want a big snowstorm. Snow projection models for Wisconsin. Let's take a look at Wisconsin. Let's take a look. Can we just take a look at the state of Wisconsin? Here's the expected snowfall for the state of Wisconsin. Oops, wait. Turn on the states. Over the next 72 hours. Not much for the south. Maybe a couple inches into Milwaukee, Madison, but most of this is up towards Eau Claire, Green Bay, and then north. Now, if you do get the high end, if you get a nice snow band that comes over, we could end up having 4 to 8 inches through the whole state of Wisconsin, but you need a little bit of help with your snow ratio, and you need a little bit of luck on your side there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think snow percentages are likely in Louisiana? 1. I think on all of the model runs, out of the 75 model runs we looked at, I think we saw 1 or 2 that gave it a chance. So yeah, there's a chance, but Tennessee, I think we see a decent snowfall in Tennessee in the second half of January here. I put you guys at about a 6. No matter where you are, I think the pattern, you're going to have lots of cold air available here. I think some snow is going to get through into Tennessee and Kentucky. Dallas-Fort Worth snow late January, early February. That might be a better time for you. I like that you didn't say like the next 7 to 10 days. We're not going to see much of an opportunity, but you get out towards this time frame. I don't know if you guys saw what was happening out here with our temperatures. Getting crazy with the anomalies out here. Look at this. Talk about record-shattering cold air. You want snow down here in the south. Sorry, let me switch. You want snow down here in the south. I mean, this would be potentially historic records broken if we saw these type of temperature anomalies out towards January 26th. So, and the European does even crazier things. So the Euro is actually, someone needs to check on the Euro because I think it needs its head checked. Look at this. Look at that. The Euro thinks wind chills at negative 50 degrees are possible about 10 days from now, 10 to 12 days from now. The portions of Wisconsin, North Dakota, maybe northern Iowa and Minnesota, negative 40 to negative 50 degree wind chills. I don't know. Let's wait on this. And then look at this. You guys want to see what these, if this were to happen, how cold this would actually be? I don't think you're ready for it. Let's say the European's correct on this. And I think it's correct with the cold air coming in. I think it may be too amplified. I mean, this would be ridiculous. How cold would this be? I don't know. Maybe negative 12 degree wind chill, Nashville. Maybe negative 20 in Asheville, maybe into the negative. This is our wind chill. In Charlotte, I don't know, maybe negative 35 in Chicago, negative 45 in Minneapolis, negative 30 in Pittsburgh. What do you guys think? Negative 35 degrees in Columbus, Ohio. Is this cold? Negative 17 in St. Louis, negative 12 to negative 15 in Omaha. Yeah, this would be wild. This would be wild if this happened. Into the negative 40s and 50s, portions of West Virginia. Is that going to happen? We'll see. But yeah, I mean, you can see what the Euro's doing in the short range with some of this cold air, though. Look at this weekend. Look at this weekend. Negative 20s and 30s across portions of the upper Midwest. Hamilton said sweater weather. Yeah, if you want to wear 20 sweaters on top of each other. Sweater weather. That's the understatement of the year. Gemini, I appreciate you. Thank you, Gemini. That was a lot. Rosebear, Night Star. Thank you, Gemini. Seriously. Can we compare last year's GFS to now? We could, but it's not going to do much. It's not the same type of setup exactly. So, guys, okay, I'm going to answer a few more questions here, speed round, and then I'm going to get off. Like I said, I might be getting on again later. I got to hang out with the kids. I'll put them to bed here in a little bit. But expect another video tomorrow morning. Expect more streaming tomorrow. I'm back from vacation. I'm going to be doing this every single day. And as I said, we're getting under 96 hours tomorrow with our potential storms, our potential southern snow, our potential nor'easter this weekend. So we'll get National Weather Service information on this storm. We'll get into our short ranges. We'll get into our NAM tomorrow. I'll be talking about our NAM probably in the video tomorrow morning. So lots of fun stuff. Is it still possible late January or early February to have snowfall in the south? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the 96 storm. One of the biggest nor'easters that we've ever seen happened around March 14th. What was it? I think it was in that same, was it in 96 or 2006 as well? Let me see. Major nor'easter. Let me see. Yeah, we've had major southern snow even as late as March. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right. The 93 superstorm. That's the year I was born. Okay. Now everyone knows my age. Whatever. Yes. So that was March 12th to March 14th. And we had multiple feet of snow falling to the Appalachians. We had a foot of snow falling through portions of the southeast. So it is still possible to get big snow in the south through March. You get towards the end of March into April, that's when things start to kind of, wind down a little bit. Any chances for of snow in Chicago, 21st into the 24th? Let's take a look at our pattern here. It's not too far out. We're talking about 140, 160 hours out. Little clipper action. That could obviously be a clipper through Chicago, and then another chance for a clipper here. So as we get towards the 24th in the evening. So 2 chances in that time frame for Chicago snow right now. The European sees a similar type of setup under 200 hours. That's why I'm not going back and forth on the models here. MJO. Someone asked the MJO. I forgot to talk about this. Interesting little adjustment. At least it's amplifying. Take a look at this. Oh my gosh. January 24th. All the way almost through halfway through February, we could have a amplified to somewhat amplified MJO. 8 and 1 is a very cold period. Very cold period for the East. And will increase our chances for snow for the East. That's why maybe this cold pattern isn't just the second half of January. Maybe it's the first half of February. I'm not going to lock that in. But a little help from the MJO could really extend this cold period. And MJO phase 8 and 1 can also help the West as well. It doesn't mean it's just going to be a ridge still sitting out west. Going into February, we could see a cold zonal flow. So really quickly, just to show you the MJO composites. January, February, March, phase 8, very cold. And then phase 1, which is out here, very cold. Below average for a lot of this west to east, a lot of below average air. Getting into our March. Well, this is just what we want, February here. So 8 and 1, very cold. Even if we pushed all the way in the 2, you can see cold from coast to coast as well. So 8 and 1, 8-1-2 cold pattern for the states, especially for the East. And you can see that's right now at least extended European January 24th through about February 12th at once, a cold pattern there. Any chance for Virginia? There is a chance for snow. Big snow through Virginia. If we lean towards the GFS here this weekend, let's watch as this adjusts. I'll give you more updates tomorrow morning. So okay, so John, you said 1993. You probably got ahead of me there. Yeah. I always thought that was a 96, 93 storm. Negative 29 Indy. I want that. Thanks, James. You as well. Listen, Charlotte's going to see a dusting or Charlotte's going to see 5 to 6 inches. That's my thought. I'm in between. Let's see what happens with our 0-0Z Euro and GFS tonight. If we get a consensus on it and they lock this in, trend to the west, it's going to be an exciting weekend for you guys. I appreciate all of you. I might get back on a little bit later to stream after the kids are sleeping. If not, there's going to be another video in the morning, and I'll try to do another evening stream tomorrow. I'm pushing back into my evening streams just because I'm all off balance with being on vacation and getting back to work. I'll probably end up going back towards my morning videos and morning streams. But right now, I know a lot of people like when I do the evening stream. So right now, that's what's happening. I'll tell you when that's going to change again. But everyone, have a fantastic day. I'll see you later. And if I don't see you later, then I will see you tomorrow. I'm solving a puzzle on TikTok because it thinks I'm not doing anything. So, okay. There we go. See you guys. Appreciate you, mods. Appreciate you, everyone who, appreciate everyone who gifted, subbed, followed, just was in my chat, obviously, engaging, helping the algorithm. You guys are all awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for supporting me. Have a great night, everyone. See you tomorrow or later.